Hey guys, what's going on? I was making this video today to say that Fortnite is dead. Now you hear that initially, you're kind of like, what are you talking about? It's the most streamed, played, most known, fun. Everybody can play it. Anybody, your grandmother, your kids, all that. It's the best game in the world to kids, you know? But the game is dead, right? So let me specify. Now, as you can see in the gameplay, I still do play Fortnite. Partially because a lot of battle royales that I play aren't really meant for Xbox or PS4, such as PUBG. I do think Fortnite is the best, and I mean the best, battle royale out right now, right? So I'm not saying that Fortnite's bad because of gameplay necessarily. I'm not saying Fortnite is dead because of the fact that I want it to die. I love Fortnite. I want Epic Games to continue to put out more updates, more patches, but they need to fix the game. Now, some people are like, yeah, they always fix the game. Why are you talking about like they don't fix the game? All they do is put out patches, and they do fix everything that's broken and all this and all that and all this and all that. See, now I personally hate when people want to talk about a game dying because all it does is promote the death of the game. But something has to change with the way Fortnite thinks. So I'm going to break this down. So I'm going to break it down into basically three things, which is your weapons, your player base, and material. So even though I said weapon, player base, material, I'm going to start off with players. When you have players in a game that are not that good. So one thing in beginning Fortnite that you saw was if you could build, you could outbuild somebody, you could win a fight. Even if you had like 12 HP. If you built to the point where you couldn't get shot, it didn't matter. It didn't affect you because you could outbuild and outplay somebody. Now, you can still outplay somebody. 1,000 IQ in the chat is still real. You know, putting roofs over people and then trapping them in a box, which is like the new meta. But they have made the player base different. So if you look at the game now, you can still outbuild people, right? But they have made new weapons that make the game, let's say, easier for someone who can build. So C4, RPGs, grenade launchers. I like the change that they made where basically they did way more structural damage. I mean, like the splash damage wasn't bigger, but it just destroyed more. It made sense. Sure, it was annoying, but as an actual mechanic, it plays how a grenade launcher, RPG, or C4 should because they're explosives, especially C4, which are like directional explosives. They are meant to actually blow things up. Now, I know right now it sounds like weapons. I get it. But my point is that certain people in the player base, being more so noobs, not all, because a lot of people use C4, grenade launchers and rocket launchers. They're very valuable weapons. But people use them in different ways. So let's say a streamer would use C4 more so because they want to throw an explosive at their enemy while they're far away. Whereas if you're playing squads and one guy's a noob, he might just throw C4 at the bottom of your thing to bring you and his friends down to try to kill everybody. Which is all fine. But I'm saying once you get into how basically noobs play over how, not pros, but gamers play, it switches up the dynamic. So you have people that throw C4, you have people that use grenade launchers, you have people that use rockets. Now, just because you're not good doesn't mean you should be able to get kills or play a game. But certain weapons provide ways where people that aren't good can just harass you. So imagine this. Imagine a 4v1. You're a good player, not a great player, right? And you're going up against a squad that has all grenade launchers and then LMGs or miniguns shooting at your material. And miniguns destroy material. I think they nerfed the damage if I'm not mistaken because it does like 19, 18 now. It used to do 20, 21. But they're shooting at you with LMGs, death machines, and grenade launchers, right? Now, miniguns have never, I said death machines. Miniguns have never really been like that bad, but they upped how much damage it does to material, right? Now you hear this and you're like, oh, you're just bad at the game, kid, and I get it. I'll see all these comments below like, oh, you're just bad or blah, blah, blah. But when you mix that in with, here's where we segue into material, you lower the health for material for wood, brick, and steel. Steel basically is non-existent. If a guy even thinks about shooting steel, when you put up steel, it's gone. Now, they did up steel's health so that when you're actually using it, it doesn't break as easily, which is fine. But with the up damage that guns do to material, and then you lower material health, material dies, right? Even in the video that Daquan made, the purple and the gold from us actually one-shot wood if you put it up, if you shoot right when they put it up. It doesn't one-shot brick because of rounding error. It does go down to 0, but it one-shots wood. The best material or X-best material in the game. So now when you're being shot at, it's harder to defend yourself. So wood's weak, brick's weak, steel's weak, but has a higher max health, right? And the problem is that besides making material, which is their whole reason for making the game, besides that being consistent, then they lower mats. So you don't even break as much or get as much from breaking trees, cars, and brick walls, etc., etc. Or the bricks, like the actual stones or in the quarries or whatever. So now I don't get as much material, right? Which leads to less material, which leads to when I get shot at, I have to build more because they're weaker. Do you see where I'm getting at? They're making it harder to build, essentially, punishing builders. Now, this doesn't mean you can't win a game. And I'll put my stats on the screen because I have ample wins. I have in total at least 900 to 1,000. So it's not about winning or getting kills. The core gameplay just feels so different because the way they're updating it makes it more noob friendly. Now here we go with the whole, oh, you just don't like Fortnite because it's not mainstream anymore. Yeah, bro, you just don't like it because now that everybody knows how to play it, you're bad. Which again, I guarantee you is not the case. So with noobs playing, games tend to kind of go towards them. You want new players to play your game, but you don't want a game like H1Z1 where when you switch seats or hopping out of cars and doing things a certain way, the skill gap is so high that your new players can't even get into the game without rage quitting because it's going to take them forever to actually get good. Then you have your players that enjoy playing games regardless. Kind of like your Call of Duty fans, if you want to compare it to something. Your hardcore Call of Duty fans, which have been playing this series for forever, they will continue to play no matter what, right? That's your Fortnite. That's your, I guess you could say kind of your streamers like Daquan, your Myths, your Hams, your Ninjas, your King Richard. You know, those people who you think that will actually continuously play the game. Those are your hardcore fans. And then you have people that I guess are a little bit below me because I play the game so substantially, as you saw in the stats. But you have people that barely play the game or barely have wins, and that's who we cater to. Why? Because they want to get more revenue. They want more people to buy skins and spend more money on Fortnite. And they figure that the people that have been here for a long time will continue to be here. But that's the problem. Eventually a game gets so bad to the point where you can't play. Now, Fortnite will never update themselves into the dirt. I think Fortnite will continuously update, and every time they update, they will do things to make players stay, but in the long run, they won't have the same fans. Why? Because of what they're trying to push. The new agenda is less mats, more spray and pray meta, no double pumping, you know, taking things out of the game that make the game itself Fortnite. Materials and shotguns was basically Fortnite in the beginning. Now, I like the adjustments. I think that double pumping was never overpowered, especially in Season 4, when pumps were kind of like slow and clunky. But I liked them in the game because it gave somebody else something to do. You could have still used Pump Tac SMG, which is what everybody plays now, because of the fact that you can't double pump or pump tac. There's no other distinguishing characteristics between guns besides, hey, let's get a gun that does good damage up close, hopefully, and then spray and pray with the gun. So that leads into weapons. So the heavy sniper just released, and this was like the straw that broke the camel's back, if you want to think about it. The P90 was something that it was phenomenal. It was OP, like to the upper echelons. It was OP. They nerfed it, 40 bullets in a clip, less damage at range to structure, right? Up close is still a monster. SMG should be great up close. That's where they should prosper. You add a sniper rifle, right? Now, snipers do max damage to body, I believe, over 150 meters. I think that they will always do max damage over that. And sometimes it goes down, maybe like if you're using a blue sniper, it'll go down maybe to like 100, or I've hit somebody for 90 before. If you're using a hunting rifle, I've hit somebody for 75 at too far of a range. But if you get headshots, it's always an insta-kill. Now, the Baird 50 cal, aka the heavy sniper, does 150 damage to the body. That makes the game even more noob friendly than it already was. So now let's say that you just hop on Fortnite, you pick it up, it's gold. You're like, oh, this is cool. It's a Baird. Oh, this is cool. I used to play with this before, right? In some other game, even like Call of Duty Battlefield, whatever one had it. I know Call of Duty did. So you're like, oh, cool. And then a guy comes up to you. He has 149 health. Now this is just something that I guess it's not an extreme scenario, but it does happen. And you're like, oh crap, the guy runs up on you, he shoots you once with a pump or once with a tac, switches to his AR, but he's close to you. And then he's like, oh, I'm gonna switch back to my shotgun. And let's say you no scope him. He had 150 health. To the body, you're killing him. You could be left on 1 HP, but you're killing him. They give guns to people that do great damage at range, and you don't have to be good to use for really. Like, I mean, sniping is somewhat hard, but once you get used to how fast people move, how the game feels, when people jump, you can always be a good sniper. But in the beginning, a noob, if you get caught standing still, drinking a mini shield, drinking a big shield out in the open, and they shoot you once in the body, even if you have 150 and you're just drinking a big shield to get to 200, you still go down, or you die in a solo. And that's the noob-friendly things that they're going to continue to push until the game just doesn't feel like Fortnite. Now, I'm not saying Fortnite needs to be extremely hard. I'm not saying Fortnite needs to be like the highest skill gap in the world. But the more you add to make the game more noob-friendly, the more you cater to people that are only going to play your game for the short term and not the long term, that part, you're going to lose your fans over the years. Now, I don't think Fortnite will ever die. I think Fortnite will be around for a while. And like I said, I don't wish death upon Fortnite either. I wish death on no game, really. I want every game to prosper, so I have things to play. I have things to post. I have content to give to y'all. But the game has become sort of cancerous with certain guns that have been released, certain material, and I'm telling you, they keep nerfing material. With every patch, there's a nerf to material. Now, sometimes it feels like there's not. And I'll read over the patch notes, and I'll probably put those up before this video. But, let's say Fortnite is just changing in a way that doesn't promote skill. It's changing in a way where, with Bloom and shooting at a distance, you can shoot at a guy that only has a Baird 50 cal, and you can only have 150 shield, and he can hit you in the chest while you're shooting him with a SCAR that doesn't hit sometimes, and die. Now, I won't ever complain about Bloom, because if you take out Bloom and it becomes like PUBG, it changes the whole game. You don't need to take out Bloom. It's annoying, very, very bad to deal with, but there are ways to somewhat deal with it by not using ARs, I guess, even though that sounds kind of wonky. But my whole point is that Fortnite is dying in a way that isn't just, oh, hey guys, let's get some more guns. Fortnite is dying in a way where the company is pushing a noob-friendly attitude on their game. Besides just progressing the game into something better, it's kind of like taking away from the game. Now, I'm not going to hold you guys up here anymore. I just wanted to have this little spiel because I thought that Fortnite was, let's say, digressing. Right? They're not doing any better. They're not doing any worse. They're still keeping their numbers up. But I think after this year, within the next year, people going to realize that the game is good, but what they're pushing for good players to basically feel worse. So I don't know. I hope you guys understand what I'm trying to say. The noob friendly attitude. I hope you guys hear me. And I hope you enjoyed the video, but let's try to keep the game from dying. Tweet Epic, Tell streamers. Ninja got strings, Hopefully TSM has some strings. Hopefully people know people. And maybe they'll bring it back. And side note, they said something about the llamas being ridiculously low on material, but they never changed it. On that note, guys, I want you guys to be royal, stay loyal. Come back, like, subscribe, comment any problems you have in the comment section below. The dreaded comment section. But you guys have a wonderful day. I'll catch y'all the next time. Bye.